In this video, we will walk you through how to complete a new eRSO file. There are several types of forms available in the eRSO research portal. If you're unsure how to access the forms, please see our video, Starting an eRSO File, for an overview. The application you will use most often is called eRSO External Funding Checklist. Let's take a look at this form. This form replaces the old paper eRSO information form and checklist. When you click on the form, it will open an application with 8 tabs. Each tab contains required fields, and you will not be able to submit your application until they are all complete. It is recommended that you start on tab number 4. This is where you'll see the name of the form you've selected in your file. Most forms have several subtabs in each section. The first one contains instructions, so it's important that you read over this one carefully. Once you've read the form instructions, you can start back at the first tab. On the Project Info tab, enter your project's title, start and end dates, and keywords. You won't be able to add new keywords to this list, so if you don't find what you're looking for, please select the closest available option. There is also a space on tab 4 where you can enter keywords you'd like to request. Below is a section called Related Certifications. If you have a certification or clearance from research ethics, animal care, or research safety, you can use the search button to link your new file to the existing certification. Your research coordinator will confirm that it applies to this file once you've submitted. If you haven't received a certification or clearance yet for your project, or if you are not sure what you might need, leave this section blank. We will review after you submit and help you connect to the right board to obtain your clearance. Let's look at the Project Team Info tab. If you've started the application, you will be listed as the principal investigator. If you have a cross appointment, please make sure you check your affiliation field to make sure the right department is selected. If you are starting an application but you are not the principal investigator, that's okay. You can use the Change PI button to set a colleague as the principal investigator, but make sure that you add yourself as a project team member. Otherwise, you will lose access to the file. If the PI for your project is at another university, you can still add them. If you can't find their name in the list, please contact us at eRSO@uwindsor.ca to have them added. To add fellow researchers to your project, click on the Add New button under Other Project Member Info. Anyone you add will be able to make changes to your application, but only you can click the Submit button. On the Project Sponsor Info tab, you'll be able to list the agency or organization that you are applying to for funding. You'll have to select the agency first, and then you can select a program. So, for example, if you are applying for an NSERC Alliance grant, select National Sciences and Engineering Research Council as the agency, and then select Alliance from the program list. If you have added additional sponsors such as an industry partner, add them to your sponsor list as well. If your dean or any other university department is contributing funds, select UWindsor Matching as a sponsor. Then select the type of match from the program list. You may be applying to an agency or organization that does not appear in the agency table. If this happens, enter the information in the comments field, and we will add them as a new sponsor. You'll need to add the start and end dates for each sponsor separately. This is important for projects where a sponsor has committed to only part of the project. To add the amount of funding you are applying for, you'll need to create a disbursement table. To do so, click the Generate button and then add the amount per year that you are applying for. Please note that the disbursement table uses the tri-agency's fiscal year, so you may need to adjust the amounts in the first and last years to make sure that they add up to the total amount that you are requesting. If you are not sure how much to enter for each year, enter the full total on the first line. When you submit, we'll make sure that your disbursement table is correct. Now, let's look at tab number 4. The layout and fields of this tab will vary depending on which form type you have selected. Here you can see that eRSO External Funding Checklist, but if you are using a form to apply for an Explore internal grant, it would say UWindsor Explore Grant. If you are applying for a laser certificate, it would say Laser Registration Form. Each form will have its own subtabs. In our example, eRSO External Funding Checklist, you'll see 7 tabs. The first one is the instructions we looked at earlier. The rest of the tabs will tell us more about your project. Review each type carefully and make sure to answer thoroughly. Any questions with a red star are required, and you won't be able to submit if these are left blank. On the last subtab, complete the declaration. We will not be able to process your application without it. Let's move on to the attachment tabs. This is where you'll upload your external application paperwork and any supporting documents. Please make sure that your documents have clear file names so that it's easy for your research coordinator to tell what they are, and don't duplicate any file names. You should only upload the final version of your agency application on the Attachments tab. You and your research coordinator will review and edit the application by email. If you are submitting a file before the final submission is ready, don't worry. You'll be able to attach the document later on using an event form. Internal application forms, such as the Exchange Travel Grant application, may have materials for you to download from the Attachments tab. In this case, a budget template can be downloaded, which you can then complete and upload to support your application. The last 3 tabs contain information such as who your application will be sent to for approval, a record of changes you've made, and a list of errors. If you're having trouble submitting your form, click on the Errors tab to figure out what questions you may have missed. Once you've entered all of your information, please take a moment to review, and then click the Submit button. Your file will now make its way to approvers. You'll receive updates by email as it is processed. For more information about this, check out our video, Where Your File Goes After Submission. You may also want to watch our videos, How to Change Information After Submission and What Happens After Your File is Approved to understand the entire process. Please don't forget that submitting an eRSO form does not mean your application has been sent to the agency. Please make sure that you are familiar with deadlines and submission procedures for your grant. The eRSO External Funding Checklist form gets sent to the Office of Research and Innovation Services and is then used by your research coordinator to assist with reviewing your application and set up your grant account if you are successful with the award. It is not possible to set up a new grant account unless this form has been completed. If you are completing an application for an internal grant program, clicking Submit is all you must do. No additional emails or paperwork is required. Certification and clearance applications may require additional steps. Make sure you read the tab with the form instructions to be sure that you are aware of all the requirements. For more information on how to complete and submit a new eRSO file, please visit us at uwindsor.ca/eRSO and click on Portal User Guides on the right side menu and read the internal or external application manuals.